So it is officially our second day of touring here in London, and today we are doing the boat tour on the River Thames. It's a rainy day here in London and it's extremely cold. However, we are determined to do this tour today to get it over with. Pray for us, we might freeze to death, but it's going to be enjoyable, it's going to be fun. Do stick around and we'll see you a little bit later on. Try this local hot dog. I don't know how the sausage is so small and the bread is so easy. Alright, look at the length of the bread and look at the length of the sausage. This is good. I've never tried it, but it tastes really good. Good night. It's good.
London to have 7 arches. Done to displace the weight of this bridge. But to the left-hand side, you have the County Hall, the home to the London Dungeons, the London Aquarium, Shrek's Adventure. There's also a Namco game, fun and arcade centre. Also over there used to be a world famous, fantastic Scottish restaurant which serves some of the best Aberdeen Angus beef that money can buy, by the name of McDonald's. There is not one over there anymore though, and I will not even tell you where they are. So as we turn the boat around, also on the left hand side you have London's ugliest tourist attraction, the London Eyesore. It is a giant Ferris wheel. It goes round. That's about it. It goes round. On a clear sunny day, not like today, the weather's awful today, isn't it? Yesterday was beautiful, today's very rainy and wet. Typical English weather, ladies and gentlemen. But on a clear sunny day, you can actually see up to 25 squares to the left-hand side of the bridge. Now the architect who designed the station, he designed it to look like a steam train emerging from a tunnel. So if you take your head, tilt it to one side, squint one eye, you'll see that it looks nothing like that. It looks more like an old-fashioned jukebox in a pub to me, but that's my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Now as we travel through the first bridge, we are travelling over and under a railway system. As we travel through this bridge, we are also travelling over the Northern and Bakerloo line for London's underground system. Now we have a tradition with this bridge, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lovely tradition. What we like to do, for those of you on the top deck, we'll blow the ship's horn, okay? When we do, give everyone on the bridge a nice big wave. Give them a wave. There is a reason for this. Get waving. Come on. Let's have a wave. Come on. Let's have a wave. Come on. Come on. Give them a wave. This is how you get these people to not throw anything down at the boats. Okay, if their hands are busy waving, they cannot be throwing. There's another bridge the other side, so we're going to do it again. Okay, come on, let's have another wave. Come on. Hello. And if they didn't wave back to you, it just means that they are bumblers. The last remaining building from the Festival of Great Britain, said to have some of the best acoustics in all of Europe. It's completely soundproof from the noisy train system that we just went under. To the left hand, on the river wall, you have a large stick of rock. Cleopatra's needle. It's said to be older than the city of London itself. It dates back over 3,000 years. And it was given to us by a grateful Egyptian viceroy for English's victory over the French in the Battle of the Nile. Known as the Ladies' Bridge of the River Thames. Over 95% of the workforce, they were female when this bridge was under construction. It has been faced in a very expensive self-cleaning Portland stone. Every time it rains, this bridge, it cleans itself. Hand side, behind the trees, there's a grey building with an electronic billboard changing sign. The National Theatre, London's pride and joy. Now unfortunately, the National Theatre, it does get voted one of London's ugliest buildings every year by leading architects. Even Prince Charles himself votes with a yellow funnel, called the Wellington, formerly part of the New Zealand Navy. It is now the only floating livery hall in the world for the honourable company of Master Mariners. All that means is that it is basically a floating pub for retired sea captains. It is a boundary marker for two cities. We are now leaving the city of Westminster. We are now entering the 1 square mile capital city of London itself. candy-coloured beach, right here in central London, on the Costa del Thames.
That's what this one is. Yes, I do. Yes. That's a bit.
On the right-hand side, ladies and gents, there is a large orange building in brickwork. This is the Oxo Tower. That's where they once made the famous little stock cube, better known as Mum's Gravy. It is not made there anymore. The first 2 floors are shops. There's some luxury, unaffordable housing in the middle by the name of Army. To the left-hand side of College and Library, home to the Anglican clergy. In that building you'll find the first edition English printed Bible of William Caxton's steam press. Also to the left-hand side, the large construction site. London is building a super sewage system, a £4.2 billion super sewage system, the Thames Tideway Tunnel project. The next bridge, ladies and gents, the Blackfriars Road Bridge. All the buttresses of this bridge have these things that resemble church pulpits. They was placed here under the express wish of Queen Victoria to commemorate a Dominican monastery which stood on our left-hand side back in the days the monks were. There are 3 bridges here, ladies. It is said, if you turn to a loved one, give them a quick kiss as you go through these bridges. It will grant you many years of happiness. But if you're not with a loved one today, I suppose you've always got your husband. Of St Paul's Cathedral, Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece, completed in 1710, took 35 years to be built. The second largest unsupported cathedral dome in the world, only second to St Peter's in the Vatican City. To the right-hand side, the power station houses the Tate Modern Art Gallery. The Tate Modern Art Gallery is free to enter. But if you've ever seen modern art, you'll know why that's free. Beer cans, and there was an unmade bed. Ladies and gents, I've got that indoors, and I do not call it modern art. To the right-hand side, the white building to Shakespeare's Globe and Playhouse Theatre, the only building in London to have a thatched roof since the Great Fire. You can see all Shakespearean plays. They're acted out in period dress throughout the summer months of the year. Unused bridge here in London. They say the approach roads for this bridge are so well hidden in the back streets of London. Not many Londoners know this bridge exists. If you do see anyone up there, give them a nice big wave, because they are more than likely lost. There is a pub with red windows, the Anchor Tavern of Bankside, one of the oldest pubs on the banks of the River Thames, and it is said that William Shakespeare himself, he had a changing room. Inside there is a pub in the dockway. You might want to take a picture of that pirate ship, because it's got absolutely nothing to do with those films. The Golden Hind. The original circumnavigated the world once, the replica it has been around the world. This is London Bridge, this is it. It does look a little bit like Waterloo, you have to forgive me. This is the London Bridge. There has been a London Bridge on this site since the Roman era. Behind the trees, the grey building with the clock face and 6 black chimneys on top of it, also guard house, home to Her Majesty's Customs and Excise. Any illegal contraband seized at the border being smuggled into this country, it does find its way to the basement of that building where it's supposed to be incinerated. Now, ladies and gents, I have been worried, ladies and gentlemen. You may or may not see it because it's painted in camouflage, but there is a large warship here called the Belfast. It's the heaviest of the lightweight cruisers, In the Second World War, it helped in the eventual chasing and sinking of a battleship called Scharnhorst, and it last fired its guns in anger in the Korean campaign. It is permanently moored here as a museum to British naval sea power. To the left-hand side is our. Unfortunately, from the river, you can't actually see the bloody tower. Sits behind the bloody trees. Now construction, it started here in 1078 by William the Conqueror on this fortress, a prison, a mint, a menagerie. It's now more famous for housing the crown jewels. To the right hand side, to the city of London, completed in 1894. On its opening ceremony, the bridge, it actually failed to operate. A sailing vessel hit that bridge. Since that day, it has been registered with Lloyd's of London. Registered with Lloyd's, it comes with the compliments of a captain, an engineer.
So you will not believe what just happened, right? Brandon is crying. So here we are walking from the pier, right? We just came off the boat and we're walking, and this huge truck just drove by and splashed water all over us, right? Dirty water to be exact, all over us. The water hit Brandon directly in his face. And now he wants to die. If that was said, we didn't mash up that windscreen already, right? That vehicle, not even living there. All 4 tires flat. But yeah, just an update. Exclusive content.